Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June meeting. Tonight, as always, we'll start out with our call to order, our flag salute, announcements. Then if anybody has any additional corrections to the minutes of the last meeting. Tonight, we've got Mr. Morris Thomas scheduled. He is U.S. Congressman Buck McKeon's Santa Clarita District Director. He's going to introduce himself and tell you about what's going on with Buck's office. Also, if we can get it in there, if we get a little ahead of schedule, Andre Hollings is here from Scott Wilkes' office and said that he also would have a couple of minutes of information to share with us. Next, we're going to have road median happenings in Canyon Country, presented by Kevin Tenoyan from the city of Santa Clarita. And then we're going to get our last chance to hear about the chloride EIR. Now, I just got a text that the 30-day extension was granted. So, I don't know. Basil, does that mean you get to make more presentations? Oh, okay. So we'll hear from Basil Unit. Then our version of public participation and a preview of the July meeting, and then we'll adjourn the meeting. So from our standpoint, this June 14th was Flag Day. Let me get my crib sheet out. And when I was going and looking at that, different people celebrate Flag Day different ways. But this time, for the start of the meeting, I went out online to get the history of Flag Day. So the 4th of July was traditionally celebrated as America's birthday, but the idea of an annual day specifically celebrating the flag is believed to have first originated in 1885. B.J. Sigran, a school teacher, arranged for the pupils in his Wisconsin Public School District 6 to observe June 14th, the 108th anniversary of the official adoption of the Stars and Stripes as Flag Day. On June 14th of 1889, George Ballack, a kindergarten teacher in New York City, planned appropriate ceremonies for the children of his school, and his idea of observing Flag Day was later adopted by the State Board of Education of New York. On June 14th of 1891, the Betsy Ross House in Philadelphia held a Flag Day celebration, and on June 14th of the following year, the New York Society of Sons of the Revolution celebrated Flag Day. Following the suggestion of Colonel J. Granville Leach, historian of the Pennsylvania Society of Sons of the Revolution, the Pennsylvania Society for Colonel Dames of America on April 25th, 1893, adopted a resolution requesting the mayor of Philadelphia and all others in authority and all private citizens to display the flag on June 14th. 2 weeks later, on May 8th, the Board of Managers of the Pennsylvania Society of Sons of the Revolution unanimously endorsed the action of the Pennsylvania Society of Colonel Dames. As a result of the resolution, Dr. Edward Brooks, then superintendent of the public schools of Philadelphia, directed that Flag Day exercise be held on June 14, 1893 in Independence Square. School children were assembled, each carrying a small flag, and patriotic songs were sung and an address delivered. In 1894, the governor of New York directed that on June 14th, the flag would be displayed on all public buildings. In 1914, Franklin K. Lane, Secretary of the Interior, delivered a Flag Day address in which he repeated the words he had spoken to him that morning. The flag had spoken to him that morning. It says, "I am what you make me, nothing more. I swung before your eyes as a bright gleam of color, a symbol of yourself." Inspired by these 3 decades of state and local celebrations, Flag Day, the anniversary of the Flag Resolution of 1777 was officially established by proclamation of President Woodrow Wilson on May 30th, 1916. While Flag Day was celebrated in various communities for the years after Wilson's proclamation, it was not until August the 3rd of 1949 that President Truman signed an act of Congress designating June 14th of each year as National Flag Day. So with all of that in mind, Mr. Thomas, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Right hand over your heart. Begin with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The only announcement that I had at the time when I made up the charts was to talk about the June 24th deadline, but now we have been granted 30 days, so I guess it will be the July 24th deadline. So make sure to get your comments in for the chloride issue and EIR, and Mary Jacobs is just waiting to get all of those comments so that she can read them and have a good time, and you'll hear about them. You'll hear about the EIR more later this evening. Attendance has been kind of flat. We've been just getting about the same amount of people. But this month on video statistics, we had one video that you can see it just jumped up there a little bit, and that happened to be the video on the stormwater presentation by the gentleman that came from the Watershed for Health. So if you know any other people that are interested in that, have them take a look at it. And of course, it's still out there. Berta sent me some corrections to the minutes, and are there any others? No, then the minutes will stand approved. Okay. Do we have anybody for public participation? All right. So next meeting, Travis Lang is going to be here to talk about the City of Santa Clarita Stormwater Program. We had the presentation last month about stormwater and watershed health. And one of the questions that got asked, and on the upcoming Clean Beaches thing is going to come back in another, 90 days or 60 days? So we'd like to know, we thought a good thing to know is what is it that the City of Santa Clarita does? So when we go down and we talk to the county and say, we don't think that this is an appropriate tax for us because we already do things, we ought to know what it is. So that's what's going to occur at the next meeting with everyone else. I'd also like to apologize to everybody tonight. Just before the meeting started, we had something fail in the editing, in the audio editing system, and that's why you've listened to this beautiful monotone buzz all evening. But we'll make sure to get that fixed by the next meeting. So I hope that you will again choose to put in your EIR comments now by July 24th, and I hope you'll choose to again visit the Canyon Country Advisory Committee next month. Thank you very much.